This is Chris Kelly with your Recovery Workout Beat. For our Recovery Workout Beat, which also encompasses core training, we're going to start out with a time circuit of mobility exercise. Alright, so with that said, you're going to need a timer for this workout, and I want you to just set your clock for 6 minutes. We're going to perform each exercise back to back as a circuit and try to get as many rounds as possible in 6 minutes. The idea being, move slowly. Make sure that you're moving with proper form. Move through the full range of motion, so there's no short, jerky motions. And again, just make sure that you're mobilizing versus trying to get volume here. That is not the goal. Alright, so for our first exercise, we have a prone Spider-Man. Alright, with Spider-Man, I'm just going to bring one leg way out to the side here. Just bring my elbow slowly to the ground, pause for 1 or 2 seconds, and come back up. Alright, the thing here, where I'm feeling this is in my back leg and in my groin. Pausing at the bottom, coming back up, pausing at the bottom, coming back up. We want to switch sides. Again, I'm looking for 10 on each side. And then I'm going to move into my next exercise, which is a squat stand. Okay, for the squat stand, what I'm going to do is place my hands around my ankles here, sit back on my heels, rock back and forth, really get into those areas. Hands come up, rise to my feet. Hands around my ankles, sit back on my heels, rock back and forth. Hands come forward just like that. For 10 reps, we're going to finish up our lower body series with our push-up position here. Rock back on the heels, press into the ground with your hands, press those heels into the floor, come back. Again, I'm looking for 10 reps, rock backs. You should feel a nice stretch in the calves and the hamstrings there. And we're going into our next exercise, which is a wall slide. The wall slide, I'm going to walk out with my feet, press my back into the wall. Back should be flat against the wall. There should be no space between your back and the wall there, no arch whatsoever. Everything is against the wall. Sliding my elbows up and down, trying to get a little bit more range of motion. I'm just coming to the top to where my arms start to come off the wall. Pause at the top and come back down. Keep my abs tight. And again, once you feel your shoulders start to shrug, your arms start to come off the wall, you've gone too far. Alright, now to make this exercise a little easier, we can simply walk out with the feet, or we can actually move down to the ground here and slide against the ground in this fashion. Now as well, for our last exercise, remaining on the ground here, we're going to come onto the side here. I'm trying to pull this hip to the side, to the floor. I'm just sweeping my arm up and over. And again, this is a progressive drill, so with each rep, I'm just trying to get a little bit higher. Pausing at the top, coming back down. Pausing at the top, coming back down, just like that. Again, I'm looking for 10 reps for each side. Holding this down. Sweep up and over, pause at the top, come back. Pause at the top, come back, just like that. Alright, now for our core exercises this week, or this month, our first exercise begins in a plank position. Alright, what I want to do here is find what is called a neutral spine. So I don't want my back to be too far arched here, or too far dipping down. I want to find this middle position here. I want to come up on my toes, slight arch in my back, press into the ground, really tight my abs, shoulder blades are down and back. I want to think about having my back like a table the entire time, alright? So there should be no movement. Our arms and legs should be moving, the back should be flat and remain motionless, alright? So what I'm going to do is press hard on the ground, come up into a plank position, walk out with my hands, and come back in. Alright, now with this, to make this exercise harder, we can walk out farther and come back. Make this exercise easier, we can walk in a little bit, we can bring the hands in a little bit. The main thing is, if you start to feel this in your arms, your legs versus your core, you're either moving too quickly or you've kind of lost form. So come down, rest is necessary, but the goal ultimately is to stay up for the entire 30-second interval. Come down, rest for a minute. We're going to move into our next exercise, which is a lateral march. All right, with this, I'm going to come up again into a push-up position. March to one side, march to the other side. I'm just stepping out, just like this. Alternating for 30 seconds. Again, keeping my back flat. Now for our standing core exercise, we have an overhead band pullover. Okay, with this, I'm going to take my band handles here, walk out, kind of arch back just a little bit, let the band pull me back. I'll feel some stretching here in my stomach, and just come forward to the point to where I start to just kind of feel this here. All right, you'll feel this in your lower abs. I want you to think about tightening your butt cheeks, leaning back, coming forward. It's not a crazy back lean, just a little bit, just enough to get a good stretch. Come forward, lean back, come forward, just like that. I'm looking for 30 seconds there. Now for our last exercise, we have a single leg glute bridge. Right? With this, again, I'm pressing my back into the ground, tightening my abs, pushing my butt up into the air, holding for 1 to 2 seconds, and coming back down. I'm looking for 30 seconds on each side. If you find that this is pretty easy, what you can do is elevate your shoulders on a chair or a step. All right? When we go to a higher surface, it increases the angle, makes it a little bit harder. The main thing here is that we're feeling it in the hip only. Okay, so in the butt cheek only versus the leg. All right, if you start to feel this in your hamstring, I want you to curl your toes up, come up onto the heel, press your back harder into the ground, and maybe not come up as high as you're raising up. All right, if you've come up onto a step, and you start to